What is a digital transformation and why is it necessary?
A digital transformation is, at its very simplest and most basic, a replacement of existing processes with electronic or digital processes. So basically you could start accepting PDF invoices instead of having them sent on paper by mail. But it's also much more. You could, for example, join an e-invoicing platform and use that to send and receive XML information about those invoices. And that opens up so many more things that you can do, so many more opportunities. So that's the thing with digital. First of all, it allows you to do things faster. It allows you to omit some errors, but it also generally, doing more with less. But it also allows you to build new business models. And that's where Agile comes in, and that's where it gets interesting. Some companies do this. They go digital basically to save costs, or they think about this as a way of laying off people. If you can do more with less, then why have 10 people on the payroll when you can do with 5, for example? At Agile 42, we think this is a bit short-sighted. So having those people in place, there's so much more you can do if you look on the upside. And that's why we think Agile and an Agile approach, Agile thinking, all of that has a very strong impact on your digital transformation.
What are the organizational implications of a digital transformation?
This is an interesting question, and let's explore it from two different perspectives. Classically or traditionally, companies have seen this as a cost savings effort. Basically, you go digital because you can now save costs, you can do more with less, and you are thinking more about now the word less here. So with fewer people, you can basically retain the same amount of same service levels that you had previously. And this has a bit of an impact, unfortunately, a negative impact on your company. So people will be, as always, under layoffs. People will be nervous, they will be afraid, they will be uncertain about their future, but also typically they will be stressed out. After a change, they are now going to do quite a bit of work as before, and even more work because people have been laid off and people are leaving also the company. And so it's very difficult to find a way of making up for that loss in added value somehow. Let's then look at it from a different perspective, thinking about your organization as a value-producing unit. So you have a certain burn rate, and now you are interested in finding new ways of producing value. And that's where the digital transformation actually helps you out quite a bit. So you can explore if your company, if your organization is willing and able to explore things and able to look around and able to experiment and figure out new ways, for example, new niches where you can take your products, or maybe a way of figuring out where to bring in new customers to your existing products, for example, then this is actually going to be a very interesting game, unlike the cost savings game, where your cost savings are basically limited to your burn rate. You can't save more than that. On the value side, you can actually you can earn much more than you can save on the cost savings side. And also, if you do it right, you can do it in an exponential manner. So once the investment is done, for example, serving 1 million or 2 million or 5 million customers or 10 million customers is not actually that more expensive. So the margin cost goes down quite a bit. This does require that your organization is capable of agile thinking and it's capable of using agile methods. It does require a bit of an agile culture to it. So flexibility, an ability to take risks, not in a reckless way, obviously, but considering the risks together and trying to figure out what we could do next, what we could experiment with together. Self-organization, backlogs, all the agile practices and so on. So that's where also the agile concept and the agile thinking models play in the context of a digital transformation. Agile is an enabler of digitalization. So by becoming agile, you can simply explore new opportunities faster. But we could also say that digitalization is an enabler of agility. And that's because the backlogs and all the new options that you have at your disposal that move so much faster that weren't there previously. So organizations will be able to make use of the tools that enable them to operate faster. And that's why we can also say that digitalization is an enabler of agility.